Hey everyone, this is a little bit of a blog entry, I guess you could say. So the most recent video I put out, we had a change, and that is that I've actually purchased a new tripod and a new camera. Well, it's not a new camera, it's a camera probably the same vintage as what I'm using, but this is what they call a mirrorless camera. So it has a removable lens, it's a Canon, and it's an EOS M, and it allows me to put in an additional microphone, which you would have noticed the change. The sound in the last one was really good in that it didn't automatically lower the gain. When I was knocking the bat, you could still hear me talk. This one basically allows full control over the audio, where the camera that I was using, that's a bridge camera, and that had automatic gain on. There's nothing I could do about that. So it was always on the cards that I was going to change that. The other thing that's been changed is the lighting. So I've bought these two big lighting boxes, and that has introduced a new issue going from the camera I'm using now, this one, to this one. This one has a much bigger sensor. So bridge cameras have a really small sensor. That's the sensor there. So when you're taking photos, the whole sensor is used, but when you take videos, it actually uses only a small little proportion of the sensor. Now, the bridge camera, that's not an issue because it's got such a small sensor anyway. It doesn't need to crop to do video, whereas this thing actually crops to do video. And the issue that I found was when it cropped, you see that weave in the fabric? You can just sort of see that there. So the new camera picks that up, and it basically causes what they call moire, which is like little patterns on that, which makes the video look a bit off. So I've had to order a new backdrop. Instead of using a green, I'll be using a black cloth. So that's coming, and so the videos will have to change again. I'll switch over to that camera now and we'll have a look. Okay, so I've switched over to the new tripod, and I've managed to record 5 minutes on the new camera without turning on the record. Anyway, that's the old camera there. That's the Lumix FZ DMC FZ200. So that's a bridge camera, so that lens doesn't come off. But it's got a Lekia lens, and that's why it's always been a pretty good camera. It's also got all the bits and pieces. So I bought that just before my daughter was born. And now I'm on the new, well, not new camera, second hand, and I also got another tripod. This one allows me to go up and down. I've got a lot more movement in it, and I've got some other bits and pieces coming. I've tried to take this a little bit more seriously. I've only got one battery for this camera at the moment. But I was really encouraged, I guess, to try and continually improve the quality of the videos that I can put out to you guys, rather than just stagnating and doing the same thing. So I don't think I'll ever get to the point where I'll sit down and write out a script. It's just not my thing. I purposely try to make these videos like a reaction type video, where I give you as much information that I can see immediately, and it may be wrong. Anyway, this is the tongue. It's in the process of being knocked in. The owner has asked for something to hide the Virat Kohli on the toe. He just doesn't want to be asked 100 times what bat is that. So we put some Shugu on the toe there that you can see, and it's had a good oil, and I've tried to repair a lot of the damage by steaming that was on the bat when I received it. One particular thing that I'll try and zoom in on here, right there, there's actually a splinter that's missing from the face of the bat. Now, I'm not going to sand the face down to fix that, so what I've done is just filled that with a bit of super glue and sawdust, so that's actually going to hold, and this will be covered with a protective film anyway. I've started rolling it, which is just basically, I've got my big roller over there which is made from Lignum Vitale, and I've gone over the edges and the face, but I haven't got to the point of actually knocking, but it has improved with the oiling. I mean, it is a very pingy bat, but it just needs to be knocked in, and I do apologise to the owner. I've got a lot of personal issues that happen in this household that prevent me from getting to everything in the timeliness that I would want. And I'm not a shop, I'm not a business. I do this as a hobby, and I never promise to reach certain targets. I don't get local players and district players and that to come to me because I don't really want business as such. I just want to review bats, and having a time frame on me takes the enjoyment out of it, and that's the reason I do it. And I hope you enjoy the videos. That's why you click like and subscribe. The Virat Kohli, this bat review, I think I checked today, it was nearly 25,000 views. So obviously when it's somebody as special as Virat Kohli, and I put that on it and say, is this one of his bats, there's going to be some comments, and they've been really interesting. Some people saying that Virat Kohli gets his bats made by Tim Keeley in England, others saying Bass were making his bats recently. I think somebody like Virat Kohli would be given bats by just about any bat maker, and he would just rotate in and out the bats that he wants to keep. He would have his own supply of MRF stickers that he puts on, and notice nobody said that the bats are made by MRF, because as I explained before, MRF don't make bats, they make tyres. So is this one of the bats that was made by Serene Sports for Virat Kohli from the Special Willow? Well, that's what I've been told. Is this one that Virat Kohli would have seen and passed on? I can't answer that, I don't know. Is there particular playing qualities that this bat has that are not in other bats? It's a very nice bat. It actually pings really well, as you can hear by that tap up. So I think it's good. So you won't see that bat again. It will be knocked in and sent back to the owner, who lives in Dubai, and he's paid a pretty hefty price to send this bat to me for review, and I really appreciate that. And that's the end of the video. Gives you a bit of an explanation about what's going on in my life at the moment, and things that are happening. There are more bats coming, so stay tuned.